Oh my goodness, it looks like we're going to be on time tonight. We got the clock running. Everybody piling in. It's almost time. 5 minutes out from another episode of America's first and favorite two-wheel motorcycle talk and entertainment show, Shop Talk, going live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Look at all you guys. I don't even know how to tell who's first across the line anymore. Everybody's always here so early. Let's just start saying our highs. XAM Biker, Evil Rick in the house behind Rudy's Fairing. Who else is here? You guys are having a hell of a conversation, apparently. Shelton is here. Oh my God. Shelton. Where are you, Shelton? I miss Shelton. 4 minutes. 4 minutes we'll go live with this one. That's enough time for you to get a drink, kick back, and relax. Make sure you hit the like and share button. Josh Collins coming in from Defiance, Ohio. Defend Ohio, Josh. Defend Ohio. Got a great show lined up tonight, man. Lots of stuff to talk about. Daniel H. driving back from Biketoberfest in possession of my first chopper. Right on. Anytime you can leave Daytona with your chopper in your own possession, you're doing pretty good. You're doing better than me and Mark did the first 10 times we went to Daytona. It seemed like we always left a bike there. But hey, that's a personal story. It's 3 minutes, 30 seconds. We're going live with this one. It's time. It's time for Shop Talk. Stick around. Hey man, I want to let you guys know while we're waiting for the clock, you don't have to be just another effing observer. You can participate in the show. That chat box you see on the left side of the screen, wherever you're watching this from, any of the 15 channels that we broadcast Shop Talk through, just put your comment there. It'll come in through us, through the magic of digital information, and we'll get to it throughout this show. No, it's a masher. It mashes all the comments together, puts them up on the screen. It is like magic. If I had to do it again, I probably couldn't make it happen a second time. So we're hoping that nothing ever goes wrong with it. But take advantage while it's here and comment. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, we're going live with Shop Talk. Wow, Daniel bought Bill Stevens' time machine. That's so badass, dude. I'm glad that one's staying in the family. So, I saw a post earlier today. The Professional Monkey was sitting in a Barnes & Noble, having a coffee, reading Cycle Source magazine. He said, now all he needs is for there to be a bar in Barnes & Noble. And I was like, dear God, can you imagine? I can go over there if you want me to. Where? Shelton, come to the studio. Please, come sit with us. That'd be great. 1.5 minutes, we're going live with this one, man. Listen, if you like what we do here every Sunday, it's 90 to 120 minutes, all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Make sure you pass this along. We're going to put links up on the show tonight, and you can actually help rebroadcast the show. Let your friends and neighbors know that there's a motorcycle program. You don't have to be preoccupied with football or politics or any of the dumb shit going on in the world today. Get some motorcycle in your life. Do it through Shop Talk every Sunday night. You'll be better off for it. So will the world. But look, man, it's the last minute. We're coming down to it. I guess this is where I say the whole deal about getting it out of the station and up onto the tracks. You waited long enough, made it through the whole week. Congratulations. Let's go live with this episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay. Scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m. Actually, it is exactly 9 p.m. Exactly.
Oh my God.
And as excited as I am that we made it exactly
October
on
20th,
time.
2024, 288 episodes later, and you are exactly on time.
Okay, well, you spoiled my crew thing, but there you go. I'm here with my crew. Wait a minute.
It took you 288 times to get it right, but you did it. Good for you, little buddy.
I am the tiny acorn. And while we're at it, while you're being a smartass to me, first thing of the show, right off the rip, as Pat Patterson says, XAN Biker says, Chris, don't listen to Heather.
Can I get an amen?
Whatever.
Yeah, buddy. So, hey, listen, welcome to Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Cowell with Cycle Source Magazine. That right there. Yes,
God,
we still
do that?
27 years later, we're still pumping out an actual, honest-to-God paper magazine, and it's on newsstands all across America in 3 major distributors, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million. That's where you can get Cycle Source. That is all.
So awesome.
You do realize that that is the explanation of insanity.
Doing the same thing
Doing
over.
something over and over, and like
he
expecting.
should have been committed years ago. We all know that.
Hey, Craig Ferry's in the house with us. Paul Adams, Ford City, checking in. Tiger Ward is actually excited that you're here with us, Mark.
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad Tiger's excited I'm here. I'm sort of excited to be here. This skipping shows almost makes you appreciate like these shows, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know, dude.
Agree.
It's
But I'm a little jealous why we skipped the show last week, so a little pissed.
Oh, we have to talk about that.
I didn't get one drink.
I'm not gonna lie.
Listen.
I about 20 times throughout the weekend, I was like, Mark would think this is so cool. Mark would think this is so cool.
I'll be all over it.
Chris was like, whatever.
When is your birthday?
October 28th.
Next week.
Yep. There's something coming from you, or to you.
Don't you lie.
There's something coming to you, and it's from that week. That's all I can tell you, and you're going to be so excited.
I can't say that you sent me the video. What's it called? The thing you sent me to watch.
The preview.
The preview.
Yeah.
On Destinations.
I don't have.
Oh my God! Look who's here. Wait a minute.
I don't have.
Talk amongst
I don't
yourself.
have Brian's
We're
number.
gonna lose our host
But I never.
right now. Just so
I never thought for a second how in depth that was for him. Dude, you got to give him a hug and tell him that's totally awesome. The whole thing's totally awesome.
Didn't he do an awesome job?
Well,
Just the whole thing, like build the 150 bikes. Like I never knew that. Like, you know, Brian's killing it.
Look who's in the studio with us.
I heard. Hey, you're a minute late though.
Mark said you're late. So Shelton Einerwold is in the house with us. Hey, so listen, if we've go on and on about all this, but you guys have no idea what we're talking about. So the reason why we didn't have a show last week was the Clock team invited us along to one of the coolest events that I've ever been to. It's a thing called the Jack they do in Lynchburg, Tennessee, where they make Jack Daniels, and it is near 100 competitors come to Jack Daniels from all over the world for a barbecue competition. But that gave us the opportunity to take in the history of Jack Daniels, and we actually were launching a brand new piece on Grease and Gears TV that is surrounded around the idea of, sometimes it's about the journey, sometimes it's just about the destination. So we have a real quick teaser here. Check it out.
In a world where the open road calls, join us as we hit the pavement on 2 wheels. From winding back roads to iconic highways, every ride tells a story. But we're not just chasing miles, we're chasing the thrill of the unknown. Whether it's a diner with the best pie in the state or a hidden vista that takes your breath away. Let's discover how every great road leads to someplace special on Destinations.
In the storied history of the United States of America are very few companies that have as much documented history as a little Tennessee whiskey that calls Lynchburg, Tennessee its home. That company still does business today, over 150 years later, under the name of its founder, Mr. Jack Daniel. So that's all I'm going to show you in the teaser. But what I can tell you is it's set to come out on Grease and Gears TV next week. It's a 40-minute piece that like all of us here that worked on it are just so stoked about.
It's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie.
And I think the super cool thing about it is we drank so much Jack Daniels, I sort of feel like I own a little bit of that company. So just like the whole thing, you know, watching you guys go through it all, and again, knowing our history between motorcycles and Jack Daniels, and then learning about the first bike and, you know, Indian and Brian and Jack Daniels, and like what Brian pulled off is, dude, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. The dude, again, give him a hug tomorrow morning. Tell him I'm super proud to be able to say I know him.
Right on. And it was a battle. Like he said in the interview, Mark got to see the interview that's in the piece, and Brian was talking about it, and he said that very first bike, Polaris had only owned Indian for like 2 minutes. You know what I mean? And when they said to him, okay, it's going to be a team of Brian Clockworks, their team, Jack Daniels and Indian Motorcycles, and they're going to build this iconic 150-year tribute to this company. But as Brian's leaving the meeting, the guy looks at him and says, hey, good luck, because you can only use factory authorized accessories. And Brian's like, what are you talking about? We have chrome gas caps and black gas caps. That's it.
Like, what are you going to do?
Oh, Jesus.
Before we get too deep into the show, we have a little bit of sad news to share. We want to give our deepest condolences to our family over at Dennis Kirk. We lost our dear Sunita over the weekend, so big prayers go out to her family and the Dennis Kirk family. It's a sad time, but hopefully, I don't even know what to say. Too soon.
Yeah, she was very, very young, and anytime you lose somebody that's that young and still has so much potential in their life, it breaks your heart. So, like Heather said, our thoughts and prayers go out to her family, to everybody at Dennis Kirk, as I'm sure they're going to be.
They're pretty tight. So we got some sad days ahead, but on a happier note.
Shelton is in the studio. Look, there he is right there.
Studio.
He's literally sitting on the other side of the room watching ShopTalk on his phone.
On a much happier note,
get him in front of a microphone, for Christ's sake.
Congratulations to Miss Ashlyn Clock. She got her rider endorsement this weekend. So we got another rider out there. So congratulations to her, and super excited for her.
Yeah, buddy. How about it? And somebody was asking earlier, Heather, is Heather riding her own yet?
If I could find 2 days to take a class, that would be amazing. I'm lucky if I can find 2 hours to take a class. Mark, you may have to kidnap him just long enough for me to not have him here saying.
Listen, Wenton Walker reminds us this also was a week hard for everybody in the motorcycle industry. In the custom part of it, in the hamster family, we lost Jerry Covington. And that's another big blow to the custom motorcycle industry too. Tough week, man. Tough week. And as we get older, that's as they say, right? All right, so hey, listen, I'm gonna shift gears here. In case this is your first time tuning in, this is Shop Talk. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit the like and share button. Every Sunday we go live with this program, and it's kind of a way to just break things up, talk about the things that came up in the news. We always have some entertainment here. It's basically a video form of our magazine. We have some feature bikes, everything else. We start the whole thing off with a little program we call
The News.
The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers.
I feel like that keeps getting louder, that clip. First up in the news tonight, and this in from AIM Expo, Brembo acquires Ohlins. Dude, that is like, when this first came upon my desk, I was like, are you kidding me?
What?
That's like the Clash of the Titans.
Actually, I think what you said was, what the hell?
Wow. Brembo signed an agreement with the Tenneco, a portfolio company of funds managed by affiliates of Apollo Global Management. That's heavy.
Whoa.
You know, every once in a while, I
This
want to go back
company
to the
bought that
days
company.
of motorcycles where it wasn't a private equity group. It was some dude who did really well in the cocaine trade. I mean,
Was that Prestige Worldwide?
no, it was Apollo Global Management. Anyway, to acquire, we're definitely not getting any advertising from Brembo right now. I just shot that one all to hell.
Right?
Boats and hose.
Acquire 100% stake in Olin's Racing, a leading manufacturer of high-performance suspension technology for motorcycles and cars, the original equipment, motorsports, and aftermarket segments.
I
So,
have a question.
all joking aside, go ahead, please.
Does that
go
mean
ahead.
they're gonna stay expensive or get more expensive? I'm just curious.
Yeah, those are both high-end products. So I
They
mean,
are,
at
but
the end
they're
of the
great
day,
products.
and it makes sense. It makes sense, right? That you know, somebody brings all of this together under one house, and it's probably going to help a lot with all of their marketing efforts, their logistics behind the scenes, and everything. So good for them.
Is Brembo an
Quality.
American company? You know, I don't know.
I have no idea
No,
either.
it is
This
not.
see, that's a little thing
Our
we call
Robin Quivers
pre-show.
off to the side over here says no.
Is Brembo an American
Stop
company?
No.
Look, he's like he doesn't even look up. He just goes, dumbasses.
Is Shelton our fact checker?
Shelton is our fact.
Okay, next up from Cycle News, CF Moto and Roland Sands Design collaborate on custom motorcycles. CF Moto USA and Roland Sands Design have collaborated to create the Vandal, a custom motorcycle build based on the newly launched Ibex 450. The Vandal will make its debut on October 12th at the Moto Beach Classic, held at Bolsa Chica State Beach in California.
Not quite as cool as a Super Cruiser, just saying.
You're stuck on Buell, right?
I mean,
So is Shelton.
it's just not as cool as a Super Cruiser.
I mean, okay.
Shelton, you have to engage. I'm just saying.
His enthusiasm's off the charts.
All right, let's move on. So AMA, if you guys haven't been paying attention as we're leading up to this, AMA 100 years, right? 2025 AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days set for July 25th through the 27th, protecting your right to ride for a century, 100 years old. After another wildly successful event in 24, the American Motorcyclist Association has announced the 25 AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days will run July 25th through the 27th at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. This has become a real staple, not even just in the vintage motorcycle scene, but I think for all of us. So congratulations to AMA and Mid-Ohio for the continued success of that.
Very cool.
Yes, ma'am. So, gonna have a great show tonight. If you guys haven't been paying attention, we're 90 to 120 minutes of all the tool bullshit we can fit. How many times do I gotta say that? When we come back,
I don't know,
we're
you
gonna,
should just get a pamphlet and
I
hold
just
it up.
hold it up like this. So we're
Yeah,
gonna take a
whole
look
show.
at a feature bike real quick, and when we come back on the other side, we're gonna have Chelsea on. You should know who she is from the pre-show. If you don't, we're all gonna get to know her here at the same time. It's gonna be a great interview. I promise you. Stick around. You're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
My name's Bill Glass. I'm from Mount Pleasant, Iowa. I did build this bike. I bought it from a widow 5 years ago, and it was in dire need of being restorated. So I've been about 3.5 years working on it. This engine here is a 1974 XLH Harley Davidson 1000. It's in a Arlen Ness digger frame. I put the carburetor on it. I built the oil tank. I built the battery box that's down underneath. Built the mounts for the carburetor. Probably the fabrication on the oil tank. That was tough. The fabrication was one thing. Got it all together, and then I had a couple pinholes in it, and I had to go back and fix a leak that I missed in the first go around. So I was a millwright fabricator when I worked, but I've been retired now 3 years. Fabrication in the millwright business is no different than fabricating in a motorcycle. It's all metal, it's all weld. You just got to be able to see it done before it's done. If you have the foresight to see a part, you can build it. A good friend of mine helped me with this gas tank, and he passed away before I got it completed. So I owe it all to him. When I was a 17, 18-year-old kid, I wanted this bike. I couldn't afford it. You know, we didn't make big money back then. These were big money bikes. So I waited most of my life. I found them over time, bought them in pieces, brought them home, saved the pieces. When I retired, I started building them. And yeah, and I've got 6 or 7 of them. You know, we have a bagger we ride. But this is my favorite bike right here. When I see people look at it, and I know some of these people that were looking at it today, I knew I'd done a good job if it caught their eye. Yeah, the motor's all been redone. Don helped me on the motor before he passed. Like I said, he helped me on the fuel tank. And so it's all new. I mean, just 60, 80 miles is all it's ever been rode, you know. I've got a 26 by 44 fully heated and air conditioned shop that I keep them all in. So I'm Bill Glass. I'm from Southeast Iowa, and I'm a Dennis Kirk garage builder.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Oh, nice. Paul Yaffe product, huh?
Yeah, man, so excited.
Got a new build?
I do. It's aren't you Paul Yaffe?
No, I've never met the guy. But I do know you can get all of his products at DennisKirk.com.
There you go.
Is this me? Awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Listen to Not Paul Yaffe. Get all your Bagger Nation products right now at DennisKirk.com.
I'm Nick Trask, Trask Performance, and you're watching ShopTalk.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Hey, you're watching Shop Talk, but Mark, I had one of our friends call us today, and we're talking about everything. You know, his bike was in the magazine this month. He was super excited, and I said something about Grease and Gears TV, about how the bike will also be on Grease and Gears TV. And he said, hey, man, he said, I hear you talking about this. He said, how does that work? He said, you know, because I don't do the internet thing. And I said, well, it's not an internet thing. I said, you have Netflix, right? And he was like, well, yeah. I said, well, it's Netflix for motorcycles. I said, works just like that. So you go to your television, but I never imagined that I would have to explain that. But leave it up to our friends, is what I'm saying.
So, can I just say something about that feature bike you just showed?
Mm-hmm.
So, number one, it's in the most recent issue of Cycle Source. But number two, what the guy didn't tell us until after
I know.
we shut the camera off, is His friend was Don Hotop,
Yep.
and that's a nest digger.
Yeah, how about that? So not only he finds a nest digger
Like a legit
project,
nest digger.
but Don Hotop, like he went to Don Hotop and he was like, I really want to get one of those tanks. And Don gets a hold of the guy that originally made the tanks for Arlen, and he sends him all the pieces. And Don tells him, well, I'll help you put this together. He comes to Don's shop and the whole tank is together already.
Yeah, waits till the cameras are off to tell us who the friends are, and we're like, are you kidding?
We're like pulling the interview out of him. We're like, this bike is so cool. Tell us about it. And he's like, yep, it's pretty cool. And
Shut the camera off, and he's like, blip, 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 blip. And I'm like,
yeah, Don Hotop was my buddy, and blah, blah,
Wait
blah.
a minute. He's like, it was crazy.
At least you can say he's not a name dropper.
Oh, right? But man.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff, like I said, man, the whole Netflix for motorcycles thing, lots of stuff going on over at Grease and Gears, our new series, but tons of new content going up for the fall season, especially like this tank thing that Fish just did. But you can check that out. Head over today. If you don't have Roku or Fire Stick or Apple TV, you can watch it just through your phone or on your computer, but it's way cooler to watch it on TV.
Way cooler.
With that said,
Are we ready?
We are. So lots of people in the motorcycle world today, trying to do the whole women a motorcycle, women bike show, women ride, women this, women that. But every once in a while you run into a woman whose passion and purpose supersedes all of the kitschy nature of people trying to do that with marketing today, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what Chelsea is doing with her initiative, RideXsober. And since she launched it, I think a mutual friend of ours turned me on to her quite a while ago, and I've been following ever since. And I think it was just time to have her on the show and find out the whys and the hows and the whos and the whats and get to know her and why she does what she does.
All right,
sense?
Let's get Chelsea on.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
Okay, should I start by apologizing for you having to sit in the background and put up with all our bullshit?
Oh, God. Yes,
No,
you should.
You're all good.
Sometimes we just like to have fun.
So welcome
gotta
to
have
Shop
fun.
Talk. We'll start with that. Let's start with the basics. Tell everybody who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Chelsea. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a full-time nurse, and RideXsober is my small business. We are an apparel company for sober motorcycle riders, and I've been sober coming up on 4 years.
Right on. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I don't say this to brag at all, but I have a coin myself for many, many years. So I'm 100% behind what you're saying. And that's really why I was excited to have you on here too, because I think the proposition of going to these events, going on these group rides and hanging out in this community, it's really hard. I mean, it's easier for me today than it was back in the day because, my sobriety is over 30 years now, but it's hard. It's hard to go to this stuff, man.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely hard. And you want to think just because you have months, years, decades that it gets easy or you're immune to it, and you're not. Like, some events can still be really hard. And there's definitely that learning curve of being comfortable going to those events. And there are some times that I still have to leave, and that's totally okay. And they say the person with the most sobriety is the one who woke up first.
Yeah. Well, and that's, they say on all the key tags and everything, it's one day at a time, and there's a purpose for that. But, to my point, like we were just talking about the fact that we went to this giant event of Jack Daniel's, #1 whiskey in the world, I mean, it was hard. Like that was my poison back in the day too, boy.
Say, for a good long time, that was your #1 whiskey.
Yep.
Never touch the stuff.
Shut up. No, but I applaud you for that effort, for also creating community around that, because that's really what that takes. That community needs to be present in all things for that to work.
And that's the thing, is this community isn't, you can't tell, it's hidden. Mm-hmm. I had an event earlier today. It was a local swap meet, and the people that come up to you you would have no idea. There's nothing that we have that brings us together, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like from the outside.
No, Chelsea, when you do you go to any major rallies where you host meetups so people have that common ground? Because I know a lot of the meeting places are, our stomping grounds, like the Broken Spoke and the Iron Horse Saloon, which they have great atmospheres and environments, but they are
saloons.
They are saloons. Do you have you been trying to host meetups at those major rallies to give people that space?
Yeah, so I had my first meetup in Laconia. I believe it was last year. We had it at the Hill Climbs. And then when we went to Milwaukee this year for homecoming, we had one at a local coffee shop by someone who has been in recovery for a long time. So there are ways to get around that. And I don't think I would host a meetup. And I understand that those places are so central, but sober people, sober places, sober things.
Well, and it's
whatever it takes also, support. It's all about support when it comes to stuff like that. You surround yourself with good people that are understanding why you're doing it. That's probably as big as, forcing yourself to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, and I understand too about, the anonymity of the whole deal and everything, but I feel like a little more visibility is not a bad thing because I think there's strength in it. I mean, I know personally there's meetings at every event that you go to. Sturgis, there's a meeting every day. You can catch a meeting every day in Sturgis. But it's not something like, I remember when I first found out about that I was so surprised that there were meetings there. There were other people there, that were dealing with the same things that I was.
Someone told me that there's a sober club in downtown Sturgis, which is really cool. And, I am an AA, but my brand, we don't push that. We're very open to your interpretation of what sobriety is. Like today, I had someone come up to me and he said, both my parents were alcoholics and I've never had a sip of alcohol. And this still applies to him.
Yeah. So,
I also think that maybe nowadays it's a little bit more recognized. Back then it was almost shunned. You were, if you weren't drinking or partying with everybody, they almost didn't want you around. I think now a lot more people are way more understanding to it, and it may take a few more people like you to push this to, get people to come out and do stuff more in a sober fashion at events, which would be pretty cool. So.
So in the notes that I got for pre-show when we were talking about meeting you here tonight, I love the part about your dad and the motorcycle. You build motorcycles together now, but how your trip to Sturgis was on the motorcycle that he took to Sturgis.
Yeah, so my dad bought that bike in 2003. It's a 2003 anniversary Electric Glide Ultra Classic. I think I had to be in like third grade maybe. He would pick me up from school on that bike, and I got my motorcycle license. I remember, I think it was my 18th or 19th birthday. I was riding my Sportster. He was riding his bike. My Sportster broke down, and he goes, "You got to ride my bike home because I have to push your bike home." And I was so scared. But then I swear, ever since that happened, I haven't gotten off of it. He doesn't ride a whole lot. So in 2004, he rode that bike from Cleveland to Sturgis to California and back. And then in 2018, I rode that bike to Canada. And then in 2022, I went to Sturgis on it. So that bike is so meaningful to me. So meaningful.
Okay, so everybody on the panel, real quick now, take a breath and realize that she said that she was in the third grade in 2003.
I was thinking that myself. I'm like, how old do you feel right now? I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just so you know, she's only like a year older than our daughter.
I know.
Just so you know. Yep.
Yep, and all that gray hair. And here I was making fun of Mark at the beginning of the show.
Yep. Younger than our
real
than
nice.
our son, older than our daughter. Jeepers, creepers, do I feel old.
No, but it's great.
I know, but I want her to do a left shot, right shot with the hair. Left
What's
shot, right. So there you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love it.
So you have had motorcycles in your life your whole life. So it seemed
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
natural for you. No, had you had any riding experience before you got your endorsement when you were 19?
I mean, just bumming around on my cousin's dirt bike. I just remember my dad being like, "You're dumping the clutch too much. You're gonna do a wheelie."
Dad, I'm actually trying to do a wheelie. Settle
Yeah,
down.
right.
So it seemed
Do
natural.
you have any plans to do anything big coming up, or what's your plan to push the what you have going on with the sobriety stuff? Are you thinking about going to events and trying to bring people together? What's your plan there?
That's a great question. So it's hard with my full-time job. Vacation is very hard to come by. If it was my way, I would quit my full-time job or work part-time to be able to go to Daytona, Sturgis, Laconia, Biketober, all of those, so we could have that place for sober riders. People have asked if this is a club or starting a nonprofit. And again, it's just so hard. I think right now we need a lot more exposure. And I feel like I also need help from others. Like, I started a sober ride and bike night here in Cleveland, and it has inspired others to do so. There's this one girl I know, she started a sober stunt riding ride in Arizona every Friday night. And then I know a couple other people in California and Arizona who are branching out and starting their own sober rides too. So I would love to be everywhere. I really would. But honestly, I'm still figuring this out.
Well,
Ice cream socials.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Well, no, you know what I was thinking though?
Hey, they're big.
What I was thinking it might be a good idea for you is to take some cues from the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Maybe a way to start this, since you can't have, all the time all around the country, maybe pick one day a year where people from, recovery programs and all over the place have one day that everybody unites under that banner and goes for a ride.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that idea.
Yeah, the visibility of it would be great.
So when you started,
always looking for more ideas.
When you started Ride Sober, what was your goal? What were you setting out to do?
So somebody posted, I think it was RG Destroyer, my buddy Adam, he posted that he was sober on his social media. And I didn't come out to the internet that I was sober. I just started sharing other sober riders on my personal page. And then my friend Kevin was like, I'm trying to follow a page that is sober motorcycle riders and I can't find any. Do you have any suggestions? And he was like, well, let's start one. So it started as an Instagram page. And this was not the original name. The original names that we came up with were like Two Wheels Clean or something. Really lame. And then we got to this. And then it became, people were asking for shirts. So it became an apparel company, but the shirts itself, I feel like, bring together a community. Like, if you're out somewhere, and like I said, sobriety it's not tattooed on your forehead, and this, I feel like, brings together a community. But where I was at starting it, at this point in my life, I've been riding for 10 years, and I was a blackout drinker. I would black out and ride all the time. Not proud of that. But again, when I got sober, that reintroduction was so hard. And I feel like this is so cheesy, but I really feel like this is my life's purpose. This is so meaningful to me. So
no, I don't think it's cheesy at all.
Cheesy at all.
That's really not. And I'm going to tell you that, like, sitting here, both Mark and I have had many friends who never came back from going out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's nothing cheesy about that whatsoever.
No, and the other thing on Chris's point here, I think that a lot of people miss is it takes a lot more balls to come out and do what you're doing than it does to show up and party like a rock star. I mean, as much as you hate to say it that way, but, you know, I know both, which we sort of blow Heather away once in a while when we talk about this, the chemical and alcohol induction that we took over our lives, questionably how we should even still be here. It blows me away, but I don't party anymore. If I had a drink once or two times a year, that's top of the line. And when we were growing up, it was almost embarrassing if you didn't go somewhere and get wasted. You're at a time now where people are starting to be proud of being in that position. Yep. So what you're doing is awesome. You're giving people that have an issue an escape and other people to actually feel the same way they do. So you keep pushing this as far as you can.
So let's talk about this for a minute, the throttles over bottles, because it's interesting. That was you know, if you heard us talking in the early part of the show about being at Jack Daniel's, when Clock and Indian and Jack Daniel's all got together, they came up with the tagline, throttles and bottles don't mix.
Bottles and throttles don't mix.
So like I'm absolutely in love with this design and the concept and everything, throttles over bottles.
Yeah, so this company will never be about me because, like I said, this is a community. And my buddy Nick, that's him on his bike, and he came up with that saying. And I love the design so much. So, like I said, this business, this page would not be anything without everyone else.
So one of the things I really like about your page is that people can share their own stories. And I have to believe that's got to be a catalyst for some people.
Oh yeah, I think so.
You know, and just the fact that they can share thanks to social media, it is hard for people to admit that they have a problem sometimes, and the anonymity that somebody can have through social media, I think is a great thing. But the fact that people are stepping up and sharing their story in an effort, whether it be to help somebody else or just to get it out, I love that you give them that platform.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I love what was said, and that brings a lot of peace, because yes, it is so easy to just be a part of going to the bar and partying, and this is hard, coming on here and talking about, you know, why I started this and my struggles. It's hard and it's scary, but you're right, it does help other people.
Well, Becky Zarling comes on and says this in support of what you're doing. My friends post on Facebook that they're getting sober. I always support that friend. We have to stop ridiculing people and start showing support. Moonshiner Chuck on here, ice cream stop idea, great idea. You know, everybody's really fired up to even hear this conversation. So
it always surprises me, and again, maybe because I'm different in that way. I could never imagine ridiculing somebody for making a life choice like that. And it shocks me that people do. It really does. You know, I hate to say that.
A little bit of it, and this is not make an excuse for somebody, but I just have to bring this up. A little bit of it is leftover, like old biker culture, you know, because it was kind of the, hey, what are you, a cop? You know, like that. Seriously, that was a thing back in the day. I can remember going into places where, you know, if you didn't grab a hit off of a joint or have a shot with somebody, you were immediately held suspect. That was a very real pressure that went on.
Yeah, and I wasn't. Whenever I'd said the ice cream social thing, like I wasn't kidding. Years ago, a friend, you know, me and a friend, Joe Trozzo.
Yeah.
You know, every once a month or so would pick a destination. We were sick and tired of everybody going from bar to bar, no less than 150 miles. Go buy a T-shirt, stop, get something to eat, and ride home. Yep. You know, like I was saying, go to an ice cream shop. Pick one day a month that you're off. Get on there, post somebody, go to an ice cream shop. Go to a place that has killer burgers. Find somewhere that doesn't center itself around that alcohol and start dragging people, you know, to that direction. It's not, I mean, like some people say, oh, that's sort of giving in. You can't go to a bar. No, you don't want to go to a bar. I mean, totally understand that. Find something fun, an art museum, a park or a destination, anything, it's just dragging it away from it. And people are starting to be aware of this. That's the other factor. I mean, people need to be aware that people are trying to better their lives. Yeah. And like I said, it's great that there's people like you that are doing it.
Look at what Bagger Bader just said. My crew always has a Diet Dr. Pepper waiting for me at all the bike bars stock it. Kind of cool. They support me that way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that's awesome.
Jeff, if you're listening, you know.
Right.
Right on.
That's awesome. I love it. I love the whole concept behind it. I love the community that is building around it. And I do like the idea of, maybe picking okay, we're going to ride to ice cream. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't know a biker that doesn't like ice cream unless they're lactose intolerant. Like, seriously, that's one of our first things that we do every year when we break out the bike is we ride for ice cream. And I know at the big events,
we're getting back to that old thing again.
Yeah, big Randy. He hosts an ice cream social at every event he does. And everybody shows up. Who doesn't want ice cream?
Yep.
I'm just saying.
I think too, in sobriety, you kind of tap into maybe your inner child or just that fun side of you. Like in sobriety, I played bingo. So fun, by the way. Don't judge me. I played volleyball with a bunch of sober people. I've just done a lot of fun stuff that has, woken up that side of me, where when you're drinking and partying, that side is completely silenced. And I heard somebody on TikTok years ago wanting to do a camp out that had like inflatable rides and all this fun stuff. And I was like, okay, that's an idea. That's an idea.
No.
Well, and where a lot of that comes from too is your maturity level. I can say this for me. I don't want to speak for everybody, but you get to a certain point as you're starting to mature, and you get to that place where you pick up the drugs and alcohol, and a lot of times it eases your social anxiety. It becomes the answer for so many things, but that is kind of where your personal growth stops too. So it makes sense that you go back to that place of your childhood when you put down the drugs and alcohol, because that was where your development was put on hold. You know what I mean? So you find both the fun and the rest of the work that you have to do at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think another thing that's pretty cool is that you had said that, your job, obviously you wish that you could take the time and go do all those things. You got all the time in the world to do that. Apparently what you're doing every day is also helping people. So you stick with that and offer people an out whenever you have the opportunity. And eventually time's going to come up to where you're going to get the ability to go to all these events. And hopefully by then you're going to have a basis to be able to help more people in an arena that you also enjoy, otherwise than just being a nurse in itself.
So tell us about being a nurse. I'm interested about this because my mother was a radiologist. My aunt was a registered nurse for her whole career. Was this something that called to you way early on in life, or how'd you get to that?
So this story is pretty interesting. It's definitely, I don't think, conventional. So I guess I'll give a little backstory. So my mom and dad separated when I was very young. My mom had very bad drug issues. And when I was 9, she had my little sister. And because of, her state she was living, she placed my sister up for adoption. It's an open adoption, and it was, the best thing for her. So I went to college to be a social worker, to work in adoption. And I ended up people kept telling me I wouldn't make any money. So I got a bachelor's in psychology with a minor in criminal justice. And the job I got, and my mom she was bipolar and she struggled a lot. So I always just loved that community of helping people. So my first job out of college, I worked at an inpatient mental health facility. And one of the nurses looked at me and he was like, "You love what you do." I was a tech at this point. He was like, "You love what you do. Why don't you go to nursing school so you can just pass meds? That's the only difference of what you would do." So my mom passed away in 2018 when I was still at this job. You know, you can't help people when you're in such a bad place. And at this time I was still drinking, and it just, you know, I just poured alcohol over the problem. So I went to nursing school. I was working in an ICU at this point. I learned a lot. Graduated from nursing school. I worked a year as a nurse in an inpatient psych facility. I can't express enough how much I love the mental health population. There's just something in me because it hits so close to home for me. But it's very hard on you. Even though I am in a good place, the patients were very violent, you know, understaffed. It was just, the stress was too much. So now I work in a surgery center. It's part of the main hospital. I do pre-op and post-op, so right before surgery and right after you wake up for surgery. I love nursing. I would love to get back into helping people with mental health issues. But again, like I said, this RideXsober is my calling. It's funny because, you know, a lot of nurses I work with, they will go to school to be an NP. Like that is their next step to get out of bedside nursing. And I'm just in my back pocket. I'm like, I have something way bigger. And I'm not hating on them. It's just a very different route of what a lot of nurses would do.
Yeah, right on. Man, so much of what you just said resonates with me on a personal level. I mean, the mental issues, the things that I grew up with my own mother, like, God, so many similarities there, and I can connect on all of that, man. That's part of what drives this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a really hard and dirty disease because, you know, it travels through the whole family, and usually one way or another, it starts with mental disease.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's an awareness factor too. I mean, I think a lot of people that have never lived this, you know, if one person in your family is an alcoholic or a junkie, almost everybody sort of lives the alcoholic junkie lifestyle because it resonates through, like Chris said, through everybody. But the nursing thing for you, my niece went to school, became an RN, became a nurse practitioner. It wears you down. You know, I think she retired in her 30s because you give so much. You know, it sounds to me like you're prepping yourself for when you're ready to roll out of there. You're setting yourself up to go into something else, which is also helping other people, which is pretty cool. So kudos again to what you're doing for others, not even just with yourself, you know?
Yep.
So I'm going to throw this out there, Chelsea. Anytime you're in our general vicinity, whether it be on your way to Sturgis or we're all in Daytona together or we come back home to Pittsburgh, we'll do a meetup and we'd love to help you do a RideXsober.
Yeah. And
I love that.
Any information that we can pass along, if it's events, if it's, you know, just outreach, people are looking for help for anything, let us know about that. We can be part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate that. And that's so good to hear the support that we have from others.
I think there's more out there than you know. It's just a matter a matter of raising the awareness that there is a community for you and that you can have a great time without alcohol or drugs, you know, whatever that may be for you.
Actually, a little bit better of a time.
Yeah, right?
I was just going to say, look after all these...
Oh.
Look, after all these years, I mean, we still go out and literally wreck it. And again, I couldn't tell you when the last time I went to an event and drank was. I mean, we still go have fun, meet people, eat, do so many enjoyable things that have nothing to do with drugs or alcohol.
Well, there's so much more depth and clarity to it now. Mm-hmm. That's the best part. Like, you know, I was talking about this. The funny thing was, if the me of 15 or 20 years ago, you know, when I was still young and had that fire in me, would have ended up at a place, you know, with 100 barrels on the same floor as me of Jack Daniels, I'm not sure. The me of today, I can respect that. I'm like,
they would
hey.
have been taking you out in handcuffs. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but
you know, like
the maturity comes along, and
you know, a couple benefits that Bagger mentioned. You know, number one, he remembers the fun that he actually had now, and number two, his beer money goes to bike parts.
yeah,
So I mean, both of those things are a win-win.
He said Dennis Kirk appreciates his sobriety.
Right.
That's good.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Well, we're going to put up all your social media channels in the links here so that everybody can keep track of you. But like I said, please make sure you come along and give us the information that we can pass along for you.
I absolutely will.
You guys make sure you're following along at Chelsea's website, RideXsober, the Facebook page, and the Instagram. Heather's going to put all of that stuff up now. And if you are out there and think, hey, you know, I'm in sobriety, I can be part of this, reach out, send a message, get involved. What are you guys doing?
Bagger, I can't say that.
What are you guys doing? Okay, I'll say it. At 57, his wiener works better sober, too. Mine worked better at 27 sober.
A little too much information, but good
TMI,
for you, buddy.
TMI.
Oh. So we started the show with you with an apology. We're going to end one, too.
Oh, Chelsea, thank you so
You're
much.
consistent. You're consistent.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and hang out with us. Again, keep us in the loop about any events that you have going, any meetups. If you need help organizing a meetup at a rally, just let us know. We're at most of the major ones. But we love what you're doing. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right, you take care. Thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, guys, so you're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Great show tonight. We're going to take a look at SmokeOut. If you weren't there, Nate has some killer coverage that's getting ready to go on Grease and Gears TV. But we're going to take you through day one right now. You don't have to do anything but just sit back, relax, and get ready as Nate shows us a little bit of SmokeOut.
Just a few minutes.
On Location is brought to you by Clockworks. Clockworks, it's your ride, you decide.
What's up, everybody? I am Nate Beck, Grease and Gears TV, here at the SmokeOut, the 24th year here, and it's about to get rowdy, so we're gonna head on inside.
Take them over down. He's going, picking them in order. Picking them in order. Man, oh, he's there. Oh, he's there. He's now. Let's go. Let's go. Look at this thing. Going for the pole in the head. Look at that move. That's it, there it is. Good.
Clockworks, where innovation meets style. Clockworks specializes in high-quality windshields, fenders, phone mounts, and other parts designed to enhance your ride, with a commitment to craftsmanship and an eye for detail. Ensure your bike not only rides smoothly, but looks stunning too. Elevate your riding experience today. Shop getclock.com.
We're ready to race. What's your strategy? Go fast.
The Fueling name has been associated with racing and high-performance engines since 1974, when founder Jim Fueling started fueling the flames. From Daytona to Monaco, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to the Indy 500. Fueling is here to compete. Look for the Flying Pig to run up front this year with pilot Ben Bosman. Fueling. No bullshit, just performance.
I'm Brian Clock from Clockworks in Mitchell, South Dakota, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Whether riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape, there's a flow to the road you share. So go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We have a special guest in the house with us tonight. Everybody put your hands together for Mr. Shelton Einerwold.
Hi, Shelton.
You got to share Heather's mic, so.
Yeah, come over on the, can you reach on this side?
Kind of.
There you go. So can I just tell you, SmokeOut looks so boring and completely.
No fun.
Like, no fun.
I definitely don't recommend going. Yeah. We want to keep it small.
Didn't we say that? Didn't we say that? It sucks. Don't tell your friends.
Yeah,
that was BMR.
BMR, don't tell your friends. It's not
BMR,
really that
it's
much
really
fun.
Kind of same thing.
So there is a full-length program on SmokeOut coming out. Day one, I kind of looked at it the other day, and it's an hour-long recap. And I think there's a parental rating on, I don't know. There's some
Stop
parental
already.
guidance crap or something
So
on there.
one of the reasons why we're squeezing Shelton into this picture is this man right here, this sexy son of a bitch, built that FXR that you saw briefly shown in the video and took home the first ever Garage Builder Championships. And we couldn't be prouder of you, man.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. I am so glad I did not have anything to do with judging that, because nope, I was out. Tapped out.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool shit there, but in all reality, I hate to admit it, Sheldon's bike definitely was the one that should have taken
Wait
it
a minute.
home.
What do you mean you hate to admit it? What do you?
I just, I hate to admit it. Just, nobody. Hey, Sheldon, is that your voice on the Clockworks commercial?
Yeah, and it feels like no matter how many times you hear your voice, you still hate it every time you hear it.
No, that bike hands down should have won that show. No question. I mean, but Aaron's still my favorite because he found my hammer.
Oh,
so,
dude.
You're taking a second place. I'm sorry.
But seriously, both you guys were absolute godsend. I don't know how Brian's going to do without you for MVP for from now until forever, because as long as they keep making MVP the same weekend as SmokeOut, he has to go to MVP without you and without Aaron, because you guys they killed it. They killed it. Like, they jumped right in, both feet. They were helping run events. They were helping build shit. They absolutely killed it. So
We stayed busy.
They fit in.
Yeah.
Did you have any fun though?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, just
Not
a
too
little.
much,
Not
though.
too much. Okay,
So Shelton has a new program that we want to talk about.
Oh.
It's an impromptu thing called Off the Clock.
Yep.
So Heather, lean over the other way so he can get in there a little bit.
Here, I
You
can
guys,
get up.
you guys share a little bit.
Get in there.
So, Off the Clock is more of the stuff that I cut out of the Clockworks YouTube videos to try to highlight all the coworkers and everyone that works here, so they all can have the spotlight instead of just a couple people that you normally see. And it's more unfiltered and a little less editing I guess.
Yeah.
My favorite.
let me
don't
tell
say
you.
That. Don't post that.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't post
Dude,
that.
I included that because it made me laugh every time.
Every time. Don't say that. Don't post that.
Don't say that. Don't post
say
that. But that's the fun thing about it. Like, Mark, you know all the bullshit that goes on in any garage setting, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Well, he's doing a show based on that. It's
Nice.
the grab ass that goes on, just all the fun and stuff too. But it's gonna be good.
Oh, bagger.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do not know. the answer to that.
Luckily, we didn't do that. Too many people would have probably got in trouble.
So Bagger's question here: we see Shelton's FXR at Cycle Showcase in St. Louis next year. It absolutely should be there.
That's a possibility.
We might have to.
We might be able to make that happen. That's not too far.
It isn't. It's what, 8 hours ish?
Yep.
Yeah, that's easy peasy.
And Mark knows a guy.
Oh yeah, I know a couple guys. I was gonna say, every time I see that layout of what Randy does, it's painful because knowing what it starts out like, and then the cleanliness and the it's so organized in the video. You know what I mean?
You know what?
We're
You know what it starts
suicidal
like?
at 5 a.m.
This is how it started the first 3 years, and it's never going to happen this way again. Bingo!
Oh my God. When Chelsea said the word bingo, I literally cringed. It was like, oh.
Dear God.
However, for 2025, I literally made him on the contract, right? There will be no bingo on Thursday, September 4th.
No bingo.
It is literally written word for word on the contract.
Yeah, I don't think health-wise, me or Randy could take the pressure, let alone you two dealing with us two bitching.
I'm literally printing special Legends Gallery T-shirts next year. It's going to say the house that Bingo built, just so we can always remember.
I love it.
Oh, that's perfect.
I can truthfully say this year at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning on Thursday night may have been one of the worst conditions I've ever seen you in an event.
Oh, dude. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to do drugs or alcohol anymore. If I stay up too late, I'm dizzy, don't know my own name, I can't walk right. I mean,
slurring his words.
Shit.
Yeah, he was literally a bumbling idiot at one point until we all said, just get the F out of here and go lay down.
Go take a nap. You're getting crabby.
Oh, I looked at him. I'm like,
dude,
are
he
you
was
having
cranky.
a stroke?
That
and
worries
it wasn't
me.
helping because me and Paul were both ready to kill someone.
Oh, Jesus. Right on. So
So good.
look for Shelton. Shelton, tell everybody where they can see your off the clock. And
So far, it's on my personal YouTube channel, and if it actually takes off, I'm just going to switch the name of my YouTube channel. So
Shelton and I, Mark, if you're not aware, Shelton is my cohort in the crime of video knowledge. So he and I are all week long. We're always going back and forth talking about things that we're learning, picking up new skills and stuff. And he truly is one of the most amazing talents that's out there for video editing and shooting and stuff. And he's teaching me stuff
Sheldon,
every day.
just let me interrupt Chris here and tell you how sorry I am for you. I can't apologize more. I should have killed him before he left for South Dakota.
there's a lot of questions that I shouldn't have to answer, but thank God for Google.
Hey, anytime you need help navigating through the Chris Cowan mine, you just give me a call.
Will do.
Yeah, okay.
He'd be on the phone with you he'd be on the phone
good
with
luck
you more
with
than
that.
Chris is. Dude.
Yeah, I can tell you trick number one, identify when you know he's coming, lights off, doors locked.
Hey, man. So Heather, Evil Rick says throw up a link for Shelton's
I
page.
did.
Oh, okay. I'm
Been
just
there, done
I'm
that.
trying to keep you on the game. Keep you
6
on your
blocks and
game.
3 miles ahead of you, Chris. Just saying. So somebody asked about the Sissy Bar display. At
Oh, there you
SmokeOut.
go.
Perfect timing. So I have been working with Jerry. Jerry has had this display for a few years now, and it's called the Motorcycle Art Extravaganza. Great new concept on motorcycle art, but he hasn't been sure what to do with them. He knows he knew he wanted to do a charity, but he's not really great with raffles or auctions or anything like that. So he and I talked at SmokeOut. And for those artists that have agreed to donate their Sissy Bars, we are going to put them up to raise money for Lunch Lady Ride. So we're going to be raising money for kids' school lunches, and that hopefully will be coming pretty quick here within the next couple weeks. So please stay tuned to Cycle Source, SmokeOut, and my page, and see if we can get some kids fed. This time of year is, any time of year is hard when a kid's going hungry, but if whatever we can do helps.
So, what's that I hear in the distance? They got the bikes fired up out back.
I'm like, what, deafening silence?
That means, you know, and that's when I killed her.
Or gunshots.
And that's when I killed her. It happened exactly like that.
Where's the buttons?
ShopTalk is brought to you by CycleFish.
It's time for events.
The most complete list of motorcycle events in the U.S.
How about if I put you up there with no picture this week?
There we go. So we are coming to the end of our rally season, and also my favorite way to end rally season at the Lone Star Rally, October 31st through November 3rd on beautiful Galveston Island in Texas. We will be there. I hope you are too. It's awesome. Beautiful way.
This is the lamest event listing that we've had all year.
Why?
There's literally 3 events this week.
Well, and they're all ours, which doesn't suck. Shut up. So anyway, October 31st through the November 3rd, Galveston. Great concerts, car show, bike games, all the good stuff. VIP packages. You should go. Saturday, November 2nd, our final Ride-In Custom Bike Show of the year at Beach Central on Seawall. $500 cash prize for Best of Show, full feature in Cycle Source Magazine and Grease and Gears TV, and trophies and about 25 or so classes.
Are we actually pulling off the special trophies? Can we say that? Can we talk about it here?
No.
Huh?
Don't jinx me.
Don't jinx
We
you.
have cool trophies this year.
Okay. And finally.
And rodeo games Friday, November 1st, 1 to 4 Beach Central at Seawall. This is always a crazy popular event. This year we actually have a rodeo belt buckle for the Grand Champ. I'm so excited. So yeah, come hang out. It doesn't cost you anything to enter the bike games or the bike show. So we will be there.
So, Behind Rudy's Fairing asks, is there a Christmas bike buying frenzy happening again this year? As long as Dream Rides is doing it, we will absolutely get involved again.
However, if you have me ship bikes to our house, I'm going to junk punch you.
You're going to what?
I'm going to junk punch you.
When I first met you, I hope your mother's watching tonight. I really do. Because she blames me for all this shit.
She'll be like, I would junk punch him too. Although she would maybe say harsher words.
How many bikes were at your house?
No, she wouldn't, because it's for the kids.
75.
Yeah, we had 75 bicycles.
And 200 helmets. And I had to ship the rest.
Shelton, you know me, right? I'm looking for like that good image of all the bikes piled up everywhere.
There were bicycles in our bedroom. Every room
We had
in the
them
house.
stacked up in the shower downstairs, the extra shower. Like we had them in every single room, every closet.
Ridiculous.
Oh,
dude, we need to have Sheldon on more, and then every time Chris or Heather's on, Sheldon, you need to stand right behind him. It's like almost perfect. Whenever Chris has the one angle going on, I can almost see. Yeah, now move to Chris now. You go to
now
Chris.
see, if I would have known that Shelton was going to be here, I could have properly set him up with his own mic and his own camera.
Oh, that's what you should do.
So
All right,
maybe
well.
we'll do that. We should have random guest hosts.
Just pop-ins.
Guest hosts.
We can hardly keep this shit on the rails the way it is.
Hey,
and
whatever.
you want to have surprises? Here's a surprise. There was a show tonight. Are you surprised?
At 9 o'clock.
So next weekend, do you know who our guest is?
Who? Tell me.
You should be surprised that I know who our guest is for next weekend. We have.
Wait. I don't want to know, because I normally find out
No, you'll
3
think
minutes
this is
before
cool.
the show goes on.
You'll think this is cool. It's Tyler Malinky from Lowbrow.
Yes.
It is Lowbrow's 20th
cool.
anniversary. He set new land speed records at Bonneville this year. It's going to be a stellar show. I'm so excited.
I'll have to wear my lowbrow hat.
And listen, speaking of Bonneville, if you guys have paid attention over the last couple years, Keith Ball and Micah McCluskey and the guys out at BikerNet putting together the belly tank trike. They actually got it out this year, actually set a record. So in short order, we're also going to have Keith and Micah come on.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. You know, maybe we should have Shelton do the show when we're gone.
Probably not.
Why not? That might be fun.
That is a terrible idea, and it would not go well.
I think it's a great idea. You and Ryan. Ryan could be your co-host.
Oh, my God.
I'll be here. If
Could you
anybody can
imagine?
screw it up, it would
You,
be me.
Ryan. Oh, my God.
Dude, I'm concerned, but I feel like we should make this happen.
I think they should make it happen.
You, Mark, and Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Dude, let's do
God.
Yeah.
We could call it shit show.
Dude, wait until next week's post of Off the Clock and see how Ryan is with words. There was more awkward pauses that I cut out of that video than any other.
I'm telling you, you, Ryan, and Mark, while we're gone, you have to do Shop Talk. You have to.
Are you guys going to be here? Well, isn't when you leaving for Lone Star?
So we have, what, 2 more Sundays?
Mhm.
And then...
Is that what it is? 2 more?
Yeah.
Yep.
But what we were going to try to do was do a pre-recorded show anyway, so that there's no hole, but
maybe.
But dear
I think
God.
Ryan's on
Dude, that'd be
on
so much fun.
honeymoon.
Oh.
And then he goes to Ike.
What?
Ryan's. That's not fair.
Tiger
looks
Woods.
like me and you, Sheldon.
Or shit talk.
Oh.
Behind
Yeah, right,
Rudy's
shit talk.
behind Rudy's Fairing Shop Talk Shit Show Edition.
Oh, that would
That's
be
it.
so good.
Me and Sheldon, I'm leaving this on you to make this happen.
Becky, listen, Becky Quivers Arling says that about going to see Keith in South Dakota. So I will be here next week. So,
No, we have wedding stuff going on.
but really, when she's coming through, son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Well,
she reached out. I answered her.
I apologize. I've been bad at communication lately.
Yeah.
We've been so
He should
so
be back
wound
from
up.
honeymoon by the time.
But then he goes to EICMA. It's
Oh.
like the day after he gets back.
Ikema.
Whatever.
All right.
We
So
need a cardboard cutout of Aaron.
We could probably get Aaron on.
yeah, Aaron be good. All right, listen. Let's cut you guys loose. You guys have been here for the almost the full 90 minutes. I want to tell you how much we appreciate you tuning in every week. Please help us pass this along. We're coming up to our 300th issue. For that special 300 show, Mark and I are both going to wear the outfits from the movie 300. So
Nice.
there's something to look forward to.
I've been working out.
Little picture I'm putting in your head. No, but 300 issue or episodes. So please put up a link. Tell your friends and neighbors about Shop Talk if they don't know about it already. Thank you for being here and sharing our headspace with us. Shelton, thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
Heather, quit blocking Shelton.
Trying to figure out which way to go. He went one way, I went another.
If I didn't have this cord, it'd be a lot easier.
That's right.
It's all about the cord.
Next time Shelton comes in, we'll have our shit together better. I promise you.
Mm-hmm. Remember, sharing is caring, people.
So get out there, share. Oh, Becky says, "Oh my God, no." The 300.
Get out of here, Cher. Did somebody just say get out of here, Cher?
We want people to watch the program.
We do.
Let's not do the whole
So we won't do the 300 outfits.
No.
We could get the fake muscle belly thing though.
I already got that going on.
That's what
I don't
they
know
all
what you're
did.
talking about.
All right, listen. You guys get out, do something with your motorcycle. There's still enough left of the season. We want to thank Dennis Kirk and everybody up in that top corner who helps us bring you Shop Talk every week. If you can, support those people. They're interested in keeping motorcycling out here and exciting, accessible for all of us. Until next week, when we come back with another 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit, we'll see you same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Get out and ride, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
He said it too. He said it.